So I was trying to switch it up, do something a little bit different here. I'll show you. So I've got just right here, I've got this little studio right here. So when I'm doing podcasts, I'm a guest on podcasts, I want to be a little bit different than sitting in front of a computer. I was actually last night on a live event and had that all set up and it wasn't freaking working. I don't know what the deal is today. Same thing. It just was no sound. But when I have somebody on live, it seems to be working. So I don't know what the deal is here, that my dang mic is not doing its job and it's plugged into the camera to do its thing. All that stuff's working when you're talking to somebody else, but when I'm recording it, for some reason, it's not. So I got to get to where I'm understanding how to fix this crap. So something I'm going to be working on here. I was able to make it work while I was in Missouri, right? You guys saw it. Why I can't make it work here? Hell if I know. Well, I mean, and that's a better freaking camera here. I took the older one to Missouri. I have the King Dingling here, and some bitch if it ain't doing its job. So I don't know. I'm playing with a couple other things, mixers, whatever. I think it's what I found. This to me, sound advice. Listen to this, guys. This is what I've discovered in life. There's no such thing as problems, only expenses. That's it. Everything, dang near every problem we've got right now, you have to just throw money at the damn thing. Now, I know that there's other things, right? Life-ending problems that are definitely different than that. But for the most part, day to day, it's an economic thing, economic issues. I got to throw money at this thing. And these are stuff that I pretty much already had. All I had to do is get microphones. That's it. And a couple other things. But now I got to get the cords and crap. But now I got to figure out what else is going on. So let's talk about the economy right now. So we don't know. Right. So we get a lot of our information from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and they're still shut down. So we're not getting any of that data. And we also go back and look at the Bureau of Labor Statistics and what they shared with us over time. And a lot of your crazy movements in the bonds were because of them cooking the shit that they were giving us anyway. So what benefit did they have? Right now, we have the bonds just holding steady, not those erratic movements that have been holding quite steady for some time. And as a result of that, I think we're probably sitting where the market where our rate should be without this influence that is being done by our government agencies, that these bureaucrats that are put in place just to dick with stuff, right? And I think that's what you have. It's like middle management, right? They create problems so they have something to solve. That's just my synopsis, but I think if we keep people out of there that are trying to justify their existence by screwing with shit, you let the market just handle itself. Now, we do need to have enforcement of certain things. That doesn't mean you just let the market run amok. There's dirtbags out there who want to take from you, right? They promise you something, but you never freaking get it. They have an excuse as to why there's always a reason why they don't. But in the background, it's part of their plan just to excise money from you because that's how they live, taking from somebody with promises of never delivering. Those some bitches, those are the times you need to get out to the power where you just horsewhip the shit out of somebody like that out in public square. That's my opinion. Now, of course, people can be triggered by that crap, but I really don't care because that's how I feel about it. If you treat people that way, we should get biblical on their ass. That's my opinion. So, what we've got this week, leading indicator is supposed to come out. We don't have it. Mortgage application is supposed to have that tomorrow. We should be able to get that. Initial claims, continuing claims, not going to have it. Existing home sales, we'll see. CPI, core CPI is supposed to come out. I'm not sure if that comes out through the Fed or if I'm not sure where that comes from. We've never really asked that question. I've never really asked that question. I think it might even be another BLS thing. And if it is, then we won't see it. So just ultimately, I'll have to look at that and understand that. We've got other things coming this week that we may not understand what they are. So since we're not going to have that information, we're going to be sitting here and waiting on it. And the market can do what it's going to do based upon just looking at things in front of them and not trying to gauge what's happening in the economy and how do we place our capital. Do we go into stocks because the economy is getting better and inflation's going up and people are going to spend money on stocks, or we're going to go into bonds because inflation's getting more under control? Right? Inflation's getting worse. Inflation's getting worse than they're going into stocks. That's because things are getting more expensive, people are spending more money, that kind of stuff. Inflation's going down. Bonds are a little bit more of a better bet than that kind of thing. So inflation has driven a lot of those things, and we're not going to know anything about it for a little while. So it's going to be based upon what the market believes is happening in and of itself. So right here, what we now have is we just keep knocking at this peak. We're kind of flatlining here, right in the middle of this trend we're at now, at the upper part of it. There is some right now, they're saying, I'm going to wait and see what happens with the Fed. The Fed's going to be lowering the rate soon. Well, we already know what the Fed does. So we're basically 22 points away from our peak, the absolute peak. When we hit it here, we pulled right off of it, right? But the stable peak is where we're at. We've been hitting that for the last few days. What does that tell me? That tells me that we're at a point right now. I would think that you should probably be locking if you haven't. And if you're waiting to roll the dice, so it's something that's really, really, really small, you don't care what the end is, just want to just do something for the sake of betting on it. Why not, right? But we're at a point. Every time we've gotten up in here, we pulled back. We tried to get up there. We pulled back off of it hard. And I think just because we're not getting a ton of data out, that's what's keeping us there because people aren't too freaked out. But once the government opens and data starts flooding out, I don't know. I think we're going to start seeing some of those big, big major moves, possibly. Again, it's a possibility. But look at these massive swings that we've had in the past. Massive swing. Got up here. Massive, massive swing. These are all things that when there's something that comes out on a global basis from one source, it tends to move the market significantly. Right now, they're not talking. So I'm thinking that's why we're in a good spot. So you should probably take advantage of what we've got, lock it all up. If you're waiting for rates to get better, waiting for costs to go down, you're waiting for something to happen to stimulate you to get involved, you're going to be left waiting and wanting. You should probably just get involved, find the deals that make sense. I've talked about some deals on here. I've shared some with you guys. There's others sitting out there. I'm actually sitting on some right now. If you want to be interested, call me. I'll talk to you. I'll share what they are. I'll let you connect you with the guys who are selling it right now, so you can see that you're going to have equity in these things. Be able to some of them are going to be pulling off pretty significant cash flows. I'm seeing houses with $600 and $700 a month cash flow sitting right here in front of me. If you're not jumping on these things, you're waiting for something to happen in the market. You're walking away from amazing deals. There's just tons of them out there. You're just not looking. If you're not looking, if you're just not finding the deals you like, what deals do you like? Find that out. Talk to me. What kind of deals do you like? Maybe I'm connected to somebody on it. I will talk to you soon. I'll talk to you on Friday. Maybe. Maybe. That's a huge freaking maybe. Got some stuff going on this week that I may or may not hit you on Friday. Even though I might not be here on Friday, reach out to me about deals. Just send me a message. Hey, Aaron, share with me what you're hearing that's out there so I can explain some of these and introduce them to you. Some of you might want to jump on. Seriously, there's some out there you definitely should be jumping on. Talk to you soon.